artificial intelligence and its relations to cybersecurity. This will not be, out of place to say that cybersecurity and artificial intelligence are a match made in heaven. We are, as cybersecurity professionals, we are very closely monitoring the evolution and revolutions in the world of artificial intelligence. From the defensive side, we see AI-based systems helping us in doing anomaly detections, in helping us carry out automated tasks in remedying the vulnerabilities or any other incidents that we discover. On the other side, if the cybersecurity professionals are paying attention to AI for their work, it's not out of place to say that the attackers are also looking at the same environment to hone their skills, to better perform their activities. So how is this cat and mouse game going to progress? Let me ask this very distinguished panel that we have with us. They will quickly, I'll request them to just introduce themselves in a line or two. So starting with Varun.
Yep. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Varun Soni, and first of all, thanks for having me here, Business World. I work for Infosys as a cybersecurity expert, and also I'm associated with the Gurugram Police in a volunteering capacity, helping them in some of the initiatives around cyber crimes and spreading awareness for the cyber safe society, right? So I have 20 years of experience, and I'll just be sharing some of the insights on the AI offensive and defensive and how the threat landscape has changed with the advent and the use of AI tools and technologies. Thank you.
Hello everyone. First of all, thanks for this opportunity. I am Garima Goswamy. I am the co-founder and CEO of Dridhg Security International Private Limited. My area of specialization includes risk intelligence, crisis management, and we are making some good headway in the training and awareness space. Usually the most impressive part of my introduction is a certification from Harvard, and that I'm a visiting faculty at IISSM. So I'm excited to talk on this topic on cybersecurity.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to see a lot of known faces here. This is Major Vineet. I am the Global President for Cyber Peace. We are a grassroots NGO as well as a policy think tank, working on different aspects of cyber, policy, cyber diplomacy, research, outreach, and a lot of activities we do with people on the ground. And in terms of qualification-wise, I've done my postgrads in cyber defense from Cranfield Universities, and then leadership from Cambridge Universities on cybersecurity management. Thank you.
Great. So with this brief background, let me set the ball rolling and discuss with Varun first. Like you said, what I intend doing is just covering the offensive side of artificial intelligence as it relates to cybersecurity, and then taking on the defensive side. So, Varun, if you can, in a very short sentences, tell us something about the threat landscape as it pertains to artificial intelligence.
So yeah, thank you. I think, like I said, the AI is everywhere being used now. It is evolving at a rapid pace, and it will go and have a lot of frontiers to be uncovered in terms of AI still. But I think with whatever AI has been developed so far, there is a increased risk of attack vectors and the attack onto the organizations and the institutions. So by report, like 63% is the, percentage by which the attack scenario and the attack vectors have been increased for the AI-based attacks, right? While with AI tools, the use of AI tools in the cyber attacks, there are some unique and novel threat actors which come into play, like prompt injection, like data poisoning, and loss of the data model, theft, right? These were not there before. These are new, which are still being worked upon, and countermeasures are being, the foolproof countermeasures are being worked upon. It also is important to say that the familiar threat actors, which is like unauthorized access and data loss, the older ones, the familiar ones, right? Even those are in dire problem because of the efficiency and the efficacy the cyber threat actors are using, leveraging these cyber tools, AI-based tools, is increased manifolds. And to quote a data point from the World Economic Report, if we were to think that cyber attacks and cyber crime is an industry, by 2025, it'll be like $10 trillion. And if it has to be counted as an economy, then it would be the third largest economy as after US and China. So, yeah. Also, I like to put on the threat actors, these with the ease of AI-based tools, they are able to craft very sophisticated malwares very easily, which can be sold as a service, and these are being used, being advertised on darknet. Ransomware is the major use case here. Apart from them, the real use case which we already see in our day-to-day life is the phishing scams, very sophisticated phishing scams, and the deep fakes. We all know, top Indian actresses, and recently, day before yesterday, Sachin Tendulkar was a victim of deep fake. So what AI can do is just tip off iceberg of what bad things it can do.
Right. Thank you for this insight. Major Vineet, if I can, just take your indulgence, if you can tell us that, are you seeing a rapid increase in AI-based malware and AI-based attacks in whatever the work that you do specifically at the grassroots level, where you are most, associated with organizations who are at the receiving end of these attacks? So are you seeing a rapid increase in the deployment of these AI-based systems, or like what Anuj just said, that it is the greater sophistication in the terms of attacks,
Right.
the absolute sophistication in the crafting of the phishing emails to begin with?
Right.
So are you seeing something similar happening across the
Yes, so this is in fact our observation, and I'd like to give kind of an example. Like everybody I'm sure in the room knows Jamtara. It's like the cybercrime hotbed of the country, and especially the Netflix series Jamtara made it quite popular. When I was in the state police, in fact, 2014 I left Jharkhand police. I was heading India's first cyber defense agency dedicated to fight cyber frauds and crime. Jamtara was coming up, and I visited that place when I was leaving, and there were just huts, and those huts were something broken huts and all that, and people were living. And we had some feed that people are going to be skilled, people are getting trained and all that. And recently, in fact, around a few months back, when I had a chance to go and visit Jamtara, I saw that place has entirely changed in 10 years' time. Now there are multi-storied buildings there. You have lifts installed, not even some of the modern houses here in Delhi has. So they have lifts, they have four-wheelers, they have sporty bikes and all that. So the entire ecosystem has come up, and there are many more ecosystems. Jamtara today is left behind, and there are many more ecosystems that's coming up in the state of Guwahati, in the state of Assam, in the state of Rajasthan and all that. So we are slowly that these cybercrime hubs that are getting established. Now, what worries me the most is earlier it was simple, like any cybersecurity awareness seminar or anything I used to tell people that, guys, if you see any kind of spelling errors, mistakes in the mail, you can just know that this is like a kind of a phishing attempt, and there's somebody who's trying, and probably the mails have originated from Nigeria or places like Jamtara. But now it's difficult, getting more and more difficult. Now these criminals, and especially I had a chance to interact with some of the cyber criminals also, because we are planning to launch a cyber rehabilitation program to rehabilitate them, give them a second chance to improve and all that. There are programs like this in the West, but we don't have here in the country. So we are exploring something of that kind. And during the course, I had an interaction, and what they mentioned now, they're actively making use of this AI tools. Now they're making use of ChatGPT to generate that email, creative emails. They are making use of images, against GPTs which can generate images and all that, it would be very difficult for individuals and organizations to kind of identify, and it's very easy to get into the trap. So that's basically one such thing. On the ground, we have seen increase in number. And these numbers actually, I'll not request you to refer to the NCRB statistics, because NCRB data is just tip of the iceberg.
Right.
Majority of the cybercrime cases are not reported. People don't report it. And there are some smaller cases that we have challenges on the ground that even when they go and report to the cyber police station, they say that the value is so small we cannot accept it. I mean, only the station diary entry will be done, it will not translate into the FIR. So such kind of challenges are there, but our helpline has been receiving a lot of these cases. Many such cyber experts have been receiving a surge in the number of cases, and that's across. So if you say majority of the cases are from Delhi, so my answer is no, it's from all across the states, whether it is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, smaller towns and villages. Now these are the places where the criminals are going and tapping into the people, because the stretch of digital India today is far and wide.
Absolutely.
And that's the place where, in fact, one major issue that we also see, and now as we are heading to the elections, the national elections, the general elections, we are seeing an increase in number of Gen AI related misinformation that's being spread in the community. Deepfakes, already as highlighted, deepfake is one major challenge, but then certain challenges, like for example, you must have also seen a very trending challenge called as the Sari challenge or the daughters challenge,
Yes.
wherein people were given the challenge that you dress in a sari and you post your photograph wearing a sari and then tag your friends. In fact, when we started doing our research, we found out that these were the hunting grounds for cyber criminals to get access to these photographs, materials, then use AI tools to make a deep nude, change the entire photograph into a nude photograph, and then start blackmailing. So these are the cases that we have seen, other than the financial fraud cases and all that are coming up. The cases like this that are coming up again, where AI and AI-related tools are being misused and abused in various forms, and it's increasing. The numbers are increasing.
Absolutely. This is a nightmare which Dr. Duggal just said that, we are going to face in very near future, not a distant future. We are going to face this in very near future. One of the other aspect of, utilization of artificial intelligence is in discovering vulnerabilities in systems. So earlier what used to happen was that security professionals like us would take time, have some patience in probing systems, in probing for vulnerabilities in them. With this growing field of AI-enabled tools, activities such as something called a red teaming exercise. Red teaming exercise, what it does is it emulates the working of a hacker, of an attacker, to penetrate an organization's environment and extract data of use. So red teaming teams are increasingly relying on these tools, AI-enabled tools. So Garima, in your opinion, what are the ethics and what are the responsible activities that these organizations can take while deploying these kind of processes and tools also?
Okay. AI tools are being leveraged, as sir rightly said, for vulnerability assessments and analysis, and there are a wide range of activities which AI can do, which includes anomaly detection, behavioral analysis, threat intelligence, as Varun had also mentioned. But then there are certain ethical issues. So for instance, in 2015, Amazon realized that their hiring algorithm was actually biased against women. And that was because the data which was fed was based on the resumes submitted over the past 10 years, and most of the resumes were submitted by men. So since the resumes were submitted by men, then they preferred men over women. So ethical considerations should be taken into picture when a bias gets created. So because if there is a bias in the training data, there will be discriminatory outcomes. Then the other thing which is very important in security, cyber security, is that as professionals, we should know why and how a particular decision is being made. But the learning environment in AI at times can be so complex that it is hard to interpret. So there is lack of transparency, and if there's a decision is being made which will impact human lives, then their transparency should be there. So there are so that is one. Then the third ethical consideration is that of accountability. So how do you ensure that an AI generated decision, who will be accountable for that? So these are just some ethical considerations which come to my mind. We should actually use AI like any other technology. While it is going to be, it is being used excessively, human intervention must be there in order for there to be some objectivity when it comes to using AI technology.
Right, absolutely. Thank you for this valuable insight on ethics and use of responsible artificial intelligence. There are lots of regulations which are coming in, especially Dr. Dugal just mentioned the regulations across European Union and also in the US, which are laying down guidelines for the responsible use of artificial intelligence based systems. So switching tracks a little bit on the defensive side as to how artificial intelligence is helping the defensive forces in combating cyber threats. So Varun, I'll continue with the discussions earlier and your point earlier. Artificial intelligence has greatly enhanced the detection capabilities, anomaly detections, as well as on the response side and risk management. So what are your views on this aspect?
Yeah, I think I would say that on artificial intelligence on the defense side can be applied into three broad areas. One, he just talked about the anomaly detection, and then I think predictive analysis, which is actually helps in your vulnerability management, because with artificial AI tools, the LLMs, which we are using for the defensive purpose, you can process a lot of data in a faster time and with a lot of patterns being checked. So it can actually see your past data, and based on that it can predict that there is a vulnerability, and hence you can patch it. So then it is a good for a security guy to patch those vulnerabilities pre-hand. On the security incident response, I think that's at the moment, in the current scenario, right, I feel that it is the best use case for artificial intelligence for the good actors, because it is a friend for the security guy, be it a security analyst, a CISO, or because in the security incident response, it harnessing the efficiencies of the AI tools, it can give them the summarization of when the attack is happening, a very quick summarization of what actions can be taken in a quick decision making time. That really helps him. It can actually also shorten the skill gap, which is a very big with the
Absolutely.
AI. It's a 3.5x gap, but I see that there are tools in the market. If you just give the good prompt to the AI tool, it can give you a summarization which actually helps. Instead of keeping 10 people, you are keeping like 4 people, but it doesn't mean that you are taking away the human aspect.
Yes.
I would say it's a friend, it's not a replacement. So an analyst or a security guy combined with artificial intelligence is the picture to go for. Yeah, that's what I would say. Also, with how some more aspects is like bot identification, malware identification, spam identification. These are some of the use cases it can actually being harnessed using those tools.
Great.
Defensive side.
Yeah, so absolutely right. And you said an absolute good point, that we are not looking at artificial intelligence to replace cybersecurity professionals, because definitely there will be a requirement for a human being, an analyst in the middle of the whole chain, to take a decision whether that yes, the recommendations given by an AI tool or an AI system, should they be implemented or not. So I think we are running out of time. So Major Vineet, I've just got one final question for you. Is you are in the grassroots environment, and you are helping individuals, like one of the very good initiatives that you said of rehabilitation of cyber criminals. So how do you foresee the cybersecurity community coming together to ensure that a responsible and an ethical use of artificial intelligence can be done?
Right. So it's a very good question and something very close to our heart on our initiative that we are working. This is called as the Cyber Peace First Responders Initiative, or the Cyber Peace Corps. Peace Corps is a very famous concept in the US.
Yes.
We have just added cyber to this. So whether you're individual, we are a techie or a non-techie, if you just know some basics about using mobile phone or any application, you can be a part of it. And one of the initiatives that we have undertaken is the Cyber Peace GPT. Creating an entire GPT that will focus on fighting frauds, misinformation, deepfake, etc. So that's under development. We already have a website that is ready. And this is all community. We are talking about crowdsourcing cybersecurity and cyber peace.
Absolutely.
So it's not just the government. Like I make the statement in other conferences also that it's not the government alone that can help you kind of counter any kind of issues. So it's like a multi-stakeholder approach where industry, academia, civil society, government, and also the netizens, all of us need to come on one platform and fight the abuse, any kind of tech-based abuse that is happening, whether it is trafficking happening or circulation of child sexual abuse or any such issue. So we thought to work on this model. We launched this in 2013 as a concept. We tried. Now the Cyber Peace volunteers have expanded to 70 countries. But this year, we are going to kind of do some massive expansions in India because of a collaboration with google.org to create these cyber peace first responders across communities. So whether Anganwadi worker with some basic know-how can also join, and applications would be very simple through chatbot onboarding, through GPT, and they will have the right information to counter deepfakes, to counter malware. So for example, the same GPT, I missed mentioning that, but we had also come across that people are also creating some kind of ransomware using the chat GPT. It's very easy to get these codes and all, and it's targeted, it's used to target MSMEs, startups, those who have almost zero budget on cybersecurity. Large-scale enterprise have a good budget, they can still invest in a lot of tools, but MSME startups are struggling. So we are creating a cohort of these cyber peace first responders who will come together and making use of AI again. AI, the best example, I would say the best use case that I can share in the conference is making use of this platform and then disseminating information, crowdsourcing information. So whether it is spam, like we need to collect a lot of data sets also to kind of fight spam, fight misinformation. So the same crowdsourced network, we are collecting information, building those quality data sets, and then thereafter fighting the abuses that are happening in the platform. So that's one such example that we are kind of playing and trying to contribute in the community as much as we can.
Thank you so much. I would like to commend the panelists for a very insightful discussion on a very topical subject. And if you would have been paying attention to not just us, but to the background music, that is also AI enabled, because they realize that we need some lighter moments in our discussion. They should not be very heavy. So this music is courtesy us. Thank you so much. Thank you for patience. Thank you, panelists.